everybody, welcome back to City Sowers. Today, Caleb is going to finally plant his tomato. He's thrilled. How about yay?
Yay!
Nathan is going to be transplanting a couple more yellow monster bell peppers into his garden bed because his yellow monster is quite lonely out there. No, he wanted to grow a few of them, but only one of them really took off in the beginning, so we had to wait for a couple more to mature and get big and beautiful enough to go outside, and now they're big enough. So Caleb and I are going to work on his blue cream berries tomato while Nathan works on his bell pepper. So let's get started on that. Walking out to Caleb's container, look what I found. This nasturtium happened to survive all winter. This is an Alaska Red Shades nasturtium, and it opened. That's exciting. It's so pretty. I love the variegated foliage on it. It's just so pretty. And I was disappointed that it just didn't really take off last year, but it overwintered, and now it's just covered in all these little buds. I'm so excited. But anyway, continuing on to our mission. All right, Nathan, what did you want to share about the flowers?
These flowers are cool because they close themselves during the nighttime and they open during the day. And you can see here's one that's either closed or blooming.
These are the blue disc daisies that I planted last summer. So they've gotten a little crazy, but they bloomed all winter. So, very cool.
And it's still winter.
Well, technically speaking.
Yeah.
Alright, now let's get this tomato planted. Okay, little man, let's do this. You want to sit? You want to crouch down right here?
Yep.
Okay.
Can I crack it?
Yes, you may crack it, but not until we're ready.
When you're done digging the hole, can you hold this?
Yeah.
Yay, I can't wait to have this in my garden. You crack it.
Well, let's see how deep we need to plant this. Let's see. We're going to
crack
pinch
it?
off the lower
Can I
branches.
crack it?
Not yet.
Okay.
We got to make sure our hole's deep enough. Okay, so I think we're going to go all the way up to there. Let's see. A little deeper. You have the shovel? Thank you.
Why does it have to be deep? It has to be all the way almost.
Well, we got to make enough space for that egg to fit at the bottom.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
Here you want to crack it over the hole.
Okay.
Okay. Just crack it. There you go. Good job.
Okay.
Don't crack your fingers.
And don't break it all the way open.
A little harder. Just a little harder. There you go.
Now only if it was
Good
scrambled.
job. All right, now you can drop that in the hole.
Drop it?
Yeah. Drop it.
Like
Well-
oh no?
Yep.
It's like it just fell into the deepest
All right.
depth hole.
Can I push it all?
Oh jeez, that's deep. Well, it looks deeper than it truly is because
Look at how beautiful the foliage is on that tomato, man.
Ooh.
Look at how nice and dark and beautiful those leaves are.
Ooh. Nice. Look at these ones. My marigolds turned into these.
These weren't marigolds. These are blue forget-me-nots.
Did you plant them?
Last year.
For me, when I wasn't even there.
You planted them.
I don't know.
Okay, so we're going to put this tomato cage in. It's going to help keep the cats from smushing it or digging it up.
as much as it can.
And now, because we don't want the cats to dig up around it, we're going to put the logs back on the empty side. Because we do not want cats messing it up, right? Okay. There we go.
We don't want them to kill it.
No, we don't.
I love my
Alright.
new tomato. Mom, can you put that log in?
Well, I don't think that one's going to fit. I think that it's good and protected. What do you think?
Oh, Ethan is going in the water.
I think we're good. High five. All right. Nathan's turn. All right, Mr. Nathan. Are you ready to transplant those peppers by yourself?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right, let's see you do it. He laid them out where they needed to go.
Yeah.
Digging his hole.
Now this one we're not putting an egg in.
No, the eggs are for the tomatoes.
Yeah. So we don't need to make it quite as deep. Is that good? I think that is.
That is a good depth. He's measuring his hole.
And there we
Not quite. Look, you gotta fill in that little spot right there. There you go.
There.
Look at that.
Now I think we should move this one a little bit more here or something.
Mm-hmm.
Because that was really close to the edge.
Yep.
I think that's a good rate, isn't it? That came out just like pie. Or, as my dad said in one video, as easy as butter.
I'm so stinking proud of you, you goober.
I'm not.
That is so cool, dude. You just did that all by yourself.
And I usually have struggle with getting the plants out of the cups, but no.
Well, and Nathan's beans here already have some beans.
It's this one as well.
Yep. These ones are left over from a science project that we did. And we just didn't want to waste the plants, so we threw them out here, and they're producing beans.
Yeah.
This one was in a pot for a way long time, so it was starting to really struggle. But it's got some new growth in it that is a little bit more the right color of green. So I still have hope that this will recover.
Was this the one that we boxed?
No, the one that we boxed died.
By far. We had an experiment for, we have 2 bean plants. After, once both of them are big enough, we got one box and put it over one bean plant. And we kept the other one under my mom's grow light. So, that was a week later that we unboxed that bean. And saw what the results were. The one that we didn't box was way better than the one that we did box. The one that we did box was all grayish.
Well, it was very yellow.
Yeah.
And then it died very soon after the end of the experiment. Kayla, what are you doing?
It's on film.
Are you just hitting a fence with a rock?
Yes.
I
Oh,
will
that's what
never-
5-year-olds do.
I will never understand boys. They do the weirdest things.
No, you will never understand a 5-year-old.
Boys.
5-year-old!
Yes, and Nathan has a couple of dinosaur kale plants that were growing in his barrel before we moved his tomato out there. And I just didn't have the heart to throw them away, so I transplanted them, and they're starting to recover now. They looked pretty sad for a bit.
She didn't.
They're just about recovered, so maybe we can have a little kale snack here in a few days.
The kale snack.
Is that the kale floss?
Yeah. I should have been flossing with kale in my hands.
Oh, so wait, you're flossing with spades in your hands, so is that like the gardener floss?
Yeah.
Very nice. Silly.
Oh my gosh, I don't know how to do it.
Good times. Little update on the backyard project. This side of the yard doesn't have a lot of growth yet, but down there we have a lot of grass that is coming back after being dormant all winter. So it's doing all right. None of the grass seed has really sprouted yet, so anything that's coming up so far is just kind of dormant grass root coming back, which is exciting to see that even that much came back. So I'm excited to see how the lawn's going to look at the end of this. May I help you? So, exciting development on the Betsy front is that I was able to actually feel her babies. And I know there's at least two. There's different separate movements on each side. That's my shirt. But that's really exciting because it took so long to get her pregnant. Thank you, Jane. It took so long to try and get her pregnant. Jane is pushing on my camera. It took 2 years and 4 total stud services to actually get her bred. So it's really exciting to kind of have that confirmation that we can feel babies kicking. You're such a brat. And her udder is starting to develop and soften, and so you can feel that. And I mean, in seasoned does, that's not really going to be your big indicator that the udder is developing. But for a first-time mom, that is a pretty... Ouch! The chickens! Ow! I'm being eaten alive by goats and chickens alike. So for a first-time goat in her first pregnancy, that udder development is a pretty good indicator that she's pregnant, because a already bred doe, or a doe that has already had kids in the past, is always going to have that little bit of udder that's left. But a doe that's never kidded before, they don't have anything there. So definitely starting to feel some udder development, and definitely feeling kid movement, which is great. Caleb marching with chickens. Now, I have a personal problem when it comes to thinning plants or starting too many of something. And what I did over here is that when Caleb said he wanted to grow blue cranberries, somehow I ended up with a second pod that actually has 2 plants in it. And guys, I'm gonna need some strength because I struggle when it comes to thinning plants, and like it feels like little plant murders. And so I know that I need to thin out the smaller tomato plant because I honestly don't have another space to put it. I don't even really have a space to put the one that I am keeping, but I couldn't just let it go. So I'm planting the second blue cranberry in one of my other pots here on the patio, and I have a Lucky Tiger tomato that is this tall in the house to replace the one that I accidentally killed in February. And so this one I'm gonna put in this pot to save it, but anyway, I'm gonna plant it, and then I'll have the Lucky Tiger tomato just in the next barrel, and so I'll have 2 barrel tomatoes when I only planned on 1. But that's okay. So let's get it planted and do the dirty deed here and kill the little one, even though it's doing okay. Let's see, this is what I'm talking about here. 1 pod, but 2 plants. So this is my dilemma, and I have to do it, even though it looks so happy and healthy. You know what? I can't do it. I think that what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and separate them, maybe, and see if I can find a home for that one. They're just so pretty. Right now, I hope you don't think less of me because I couldn't let that tomato go. So I will have to find somewhere to give that tomato to. But I'm hoping that I can find someone who will take it, as well as all the other hobo tomatoes that I have sitting around. Thank you for joining us today. The boys and I had a nice afternoon planting our plants and updating on the yard and the goats. We hope you guys enjoyed this little update and this little fun outing with the boys out in the yard planting their plants. Please like and subscribe to our channel. You goober. Anyway, this is your urban nerd with a goat herd.
Okay. Saying that you
These
can go
are
where
your
you're
urban nerds with a goat herd.
Okay. You ready?
This is your.
No, I'm gonna say it. Okay. This is your urban nerd with a goat herd telling you that you can grow
Where you're planted!
See you next time.